Hello, Catherine here. Well, I am sitting here trying to talk myself into doing my academic work. I have a little confession here. I am very hot and cold when it comes to academia. Considering that I'm at the end of a PhD, you would think that I would be more on board, but I have my reasons, and most of it has to do with the high effort, risk, and all this, and low reward. If other academics might know what I'm talking about. I've been in school for 12 years. Alright, this is the end of my 4th degree. A PhD, that pretty much gets you in the zone with academia. Now, my issue is not that I'm unable to do this work. It's not even that most of it's going to get rejected. I submitted a paper to a huge journal. Of course it got rejected. But I know why it got rejected, and I can do all the reflecting I want. How am I going to improve? But the truth is, I will have to do this over and over and over and over as a career and get used to the rejection. No matter how good it is, there's going to be an issue with my work. And I hate it. To put all this investment into becoming an expert on my field, and this is some of my editing. This is my paper that got rejected. It's just, in order to get something published, I have to do all this groundwork, right? Here's me breaking down a paper that did get published. I wrote down how long it took from the time this person submitted it to the journal to the time it was accepted in its revised and final form. And it's usually a matter of months. Sometimes it can take a very, very long time. You can see here what I've written. You're not paid to do this. Let's get something straight. You're not paid to do this. You are expected to do this. 6 months. I have to understand how this is done, right? See, I broke it down, and I have to figure, okay, what kind of paper is this? Which you have to say from the onset. When you submit a paper, you have to say what type of paper it is. I have a word count to deal with. I have data and results and all this stuff. Knowing how to read this stuff and actually use this stuff is like step 1. You have to read so much of this. Just from your PhD, a typical reference list is like 400 sources. So most of the time, as you can imagine, is spent reading, thinking, and a little bit of writing, and over a period of years this adds up. This person has to adapt this manuscript to this journal's specifications and scope. It has to be appropriate for the readership. It needs to be well written. It needs to be reviewed and not rejected just out of hand. My paper lasted a few weeks before it was rejected. I think once it really hit the main editor's desk, like, you know, it's well written, but it's just, it doesn't do this, that, and the other, and it's like, oh, okay, I see that. I wish I had done better from the beginning. I love to learn. I love my subjects. I love my discipline, and I like the things I write about. Do I like writing? Honestly, no. It is extremely draining. It is, the editing is just, it's not fun. But here's the thing, I mean, this is how academic work is disseminated in the literature. I've done plenty of lectures and workshops and tutorials and all that. Even though I can study a language or 3 languages in one day for hours, I can't do this every day. This is like higher order stuff that is exhausting. And yes, I'm complaining a little bit. You know what? This is a rant. I've found it really difficult to return my PhD, to finish the thesis, and to have it sent off, and then return to me with this, that, and the other that needs to be done. It's just... oh. You have to have such a thick skin. You have to just never give up. You won't make it. You have to accept that so much of your work is not going to be adequately compensated. I have an issue with that too. But at this point, you know, I don't have practical work experience, I have academic experience. And I love to teach. I love students, I love classes, I love lectures, but everything else, it just... This is like a real self-pitying rant, but here's the truth. A lot of people struggle in academia because it's like... you're often not in a position where you have a secure job and you have a reasonable amount of expectations and responsibilities. It feels like a race, and it feels like a treadmill at, you know, at the same time. To get any traction, you just have to grind for so long. And this is how I've developed patience. Because I did 4 years and change, for, you know, more than 4 years to get my bachelor's degrees, and then a master's, which I had to grind and just get through on sheer will. And then, you know, get out here for the PhD, and the brain that I came out with, that I came over here with, is not the brain that's leaving. And I am not in the position I need to be. I need to submit more work. I need to submit the PhD, the thesis, and be done with it, but I just can't seem to talk myself into it, and I really struggled with why. And I guess it's just the idea that there's just not really going to be much of a payoff for all this. But at the same time, if I love learning and studying just for knowledge's sake, why wouldn't I be happy just sharing all this with the world? And it's not that I'm not. Of course I want to. I guess I just don't know what it's all for sometimes. So I can't let all of this effort and time and skill go wasted. So this is me just griping and feeling bad for myself and just getting over myself. I have to get over myself. I have to move forward. I can't stop. I cannot stop now. If you guys are feeling out of gas, where you just don't have a direction, you don't know what the purpose is, sometimes it's okay to feel that and to just kind of come back and confront it another time. And you may have to do this many times. It's not easy. It wasn't easy at the beginning, it's not easy at the end. It's not easy. I don't know if it's ever easy. Maybe, for some people. I've yet to meet them. Okay, that's a rant, that's a gripe, that's a pity party. But, you know what? I'm gonna work. Gotta work, work, work. It's gonna get done. Alright, off to work I go. See you later.